Hi, I'm Andrea, and this is going to be a quick flow and go class. Excuse me. So, any level can do this class. We'll start in child's pose. So, come onto your knees. Take your big toes together. Sit back. Arms stretch out in front of you. Stay there and find your breath. Find your ujjayi breath. That audible sound created by constricting the back of your throat slightly. Should sound like an ocean, the waves. Every time I say that, I think of you too, so sorry if that song is now stuck in your head, by the way. So start your breath, start to connect to your body. Notice how it feels today. If it needs any special attention in certain areas, send the breath there. And just start to settle in. Try not to be thinking about what happened earlier today or what you still have to do today. Just be. Just simply be. In through the nose and exhale through the nose. I'm just going to stay in child's pose for a couple minutes just so we can settle into our bodies, get ready for this practice. This practice isn't going to be very long, so we're kind of going to move pretty quickly. Don't let that scare you, because it won't be that bad. Trust me. In through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale, exhale. Try and slow down your breath. Should be rhythmic. But if it's not, you work up to it. You don't judge it. On your next inhale, come up onto all fours, tabletop position. Make sure that your wrists are stacked over your shoulders, your hips over your knees. And on the inhale, you're going to drop your belly and lift your gaze and come into cow pose. And on the exhale, we're going to round the spine, round the upper back and shoulders, and come into cat. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Let's do a couple rounds at your own pace. Meet me back in a neutral tabletop position. Take your hands slightly forward, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back. Come into your first downward facing dog. And you may have to adjust here. Make sure you're aligned. Make sure there's no creases in your wrists. Broaden your upper shoulder blades. And move around here a little bit if you have to. So bend one knee and the other. And just move how you feel your body needs to. Or don't move. Doesn't matter. On your next inhale, look past your hands, come up onto your toes, bend your knees, and step to meet your hands. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen your spine, and exhale, forward fold. And grab your opposite elbows here and just dangle in ragdoll pose. This is one of my favorite poses. I just think it feels amazing. And again, if you need to move around here, go ahead and sway back and forth. Maybe forwards and back. And on your next inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Arms reached up to the sky. And exhale, your hands to your heart center. So here we'll set our intention for our practice today. This can be whatever you want it to be. I'll offer a suggestion. If you can't think of what your intention should be today, it could simply be to be present on your mat. So like I said earlier when we were in child's pose, try not to let your mind think about everything else that's going on in your life and just be here, right now. Just be. We're always doing. Just be for once. On your next inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive. Hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, offer your chest, halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, come into a high plank pose. Take a breath here. And on the exhale, lower all the way down to your mat. Inhale, lift your chest. Extend the crown of your head, shoulders are relaxed, cobra pose. Exhale, sink back down to your mat. And this time come a little bit higher. Inhale, cobra, a little bit bigger of a cobra. And exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, look past your hands, bend your knees, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, arms reach. Exhale, arms release. We'll do one more sun salutation A. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your feet back, high plank. Inhale, exhale, elbows shoot straight back, come into low plank, or all the way back down to the mat. Inhale, chest sweeps forward, come into your first upward facing dog, or you can do cobra again. And exhale, flip your toes, hips up and back, downward facing. And breathe, take a couple breaths here. Inhale, lift your right leg up, step it through to meet your hands. Spin your back heel flat and keeping your hips square on your inhale, rise up for your warrior one, your Virabhadrasana one. So your hips are square here. Spiral your left thigh, your left outer thigh down towards the mat. that haramana. Inhale, reach a little bit higher, open your heart. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, high plank. Inhale, exhale, elbows shoot straight back, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. And take a couple breaths. Inhale that left leg up towards the sky. Step it through to meet your hands. Spin the back heel flat. Keep the hips square, as square as possible. And rise up. Warrior one on the left side. So again, we're spiraling this outer left, or this outer right thigh towards the front of the room, so that our hips can stay as square as possible. Inhale, lift your chest a little bit higher, pull up out of your hips. Then exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Inhale, exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward face. And exhale, downward facing dog. And move around a little bit. I like to move in pretty much every down dog that I do, so that's up to you. Do what your body is craving for. This is supposed to feel good. It's not supposed to be easy, but it's supposed to feel good, if that makes sense. So, step your right foot through to meet your hands. Spin the back heel flat. You're going to come up into warrior one on the right side once again. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, open it up. Open your hips to the side. And come into your warrior two on the right. So your heel is lined up with the arch of your foot. Your hips are to the side. Your torso is to the side. Arms are out, shoulders relaxed. Gaze over your right middle finger. Inhale, flip your palms. And exhale, reverse your warrior, keeping your legs just the same. And cartwheel your hands all the way to the mat. We're not coming into plank. We're going to spin this back foot, so we're on the ball of our toes, and drop your knee. So come into a low lunge position. And on the inhale, arms reach. Make sure you're not collapsing in your hips here. You should feel them doing a little bit of work. You shouldn't just be like, bleh, you know? So see the difference here? Here. I'm collapsing, I'm not. So arms reach up. If that's too much, you can put your arms here. If that's too much, you can stay here. Again, what your body needs. So we're going to take a little twist, because I don't know about you, but I need some detox after these holidays. So we're in our low lunge. Take your hands to prayer position. Take your left elbow to your right knee, the outside of your right knee, and use that leverage to twist, keeping your spine long. And we're looking out over our right shoulder. And inhale, come back up. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your right foot back to meet your left. High plank. Lower on the exhale to low plank. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg. Step it through to meet your hands. Spin the back heel. Rise up, warrior one. Lift your chest nice and high, pull up out of your hips, and exhale, open it up, heel to arch. Virabhadrasana 2. I love saying that. Virabhadrasana 2. You're like, shut up, let's keep going. Okay, flip your palms and exhale, reverse your warrior. Feel that opening in the side body. And cartwheel your hands to the mat. Spin the back foot. Drop the knee. Stay here in your low lunge or rise up. Again, out of the hips. Collapsed, not collapsed. Collapsed, not collapsed. It's not going to do you very good to just sink in every pose that you do. You need to engage. Sometimes us more flexible people have problems with that because it's so easy to just sink in everything. We don't want to do that. So, we're in our low lunge. Take your hands to your heart center. And we're going to twist on the other side. So, take your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Your gaze over your left shoulder. And twist. Keep the spine long. And if this is painful, don't do it. You should never feel pain. Sensation, not pain. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, plant the hands. Step your left foot back to meet the right. On the exhale, we lower, low plank. Inhale, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing dog. And drop to your knees and come into child's pose. Take a couple breaths in child's pose. Just did a lot of work. We're not done, but let's take a little breather. Very short breather, by the way. Just so you know. Inhale back to all fours and exhale back to your downward facing dog. We are almost done. We're just going to do some back bends and some hip and twist work and we'll be good. So, lift your right leg up towards the sky for your three-legged dog. Toes are pointing downward. Open your hip. Bend your upper knee. So we're in a little like scorpion tail type thingy. Okay. If you want to flip your dog, go for it. And come into your wild thing. Little back bend. It's one of my favorite poses. It feels so good. Sometimes you can take your hand to your heart. That feels nice too. If you did flip your dog, come back. Meet us in plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward face. Exhale, downward face. And the other side. Inhale that left leg, toes are pointing down, hips are square. Exhale, open the hips. Bend the top knee. Little scorpion leg thingy. And if you want to flip your dog, take that top leg over you to the ground. Wild bang. Hand can go to the heart, it can reach, whatever. And if you're in wild thing, meet us back in plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward face, and exhale, downward facing dog. And drop to your knees. so we're kneeling. We're going to do a little bit more back bending before we're done today. So come up into a high kneeling pose. We're going to do camel, Ustrasana. So if you're new to camel, we're just going to start right here. Take your hands to your lower back, right on your sacrum. And on your inhale, you're going to open your chest as much as you possibly can. And on the exhale, you're just going to curl up and back. A little back bend. Now, if you aren't new to camel and you want to go for it, go ahead and grab one foot, maybe both. But keep pushing your hips forward. Keep pushing them forward. And relax your neck. And come back up. Sit on your heels. Stack one fist on top of the other and stack your forehead on your fist. If you're seeing sparks or feel a little lightheaded after that pose, it's totally normal. Back bending does that to us. In fact, it's actually a natural stimulant. You don't even need coffee today. You just did some back bends. So inhale, come back up onto your high kneeling. We're going to do it one more time. So take your hands to your sacrum. Inhale, open your chest, and exhale, curl up and back. Grab the heels or don't. Push your hips forward, relax your neck. And inhale, come back up. Stack your fists, the other one on top this time. It really doesn't matter if you don't remember. And take your forehead to your fists. And breathe. Do not forget to breathe. Remember your intention though. Are you still here or are you elsewhere? It's difficult, I know. Okay, so come back up. We're on our knees. We're just chilling on our knees. What we're going to do is just lift our hips, take them to the left so that we're sitting in kind of like a, little pretty pose, like we're taking a photo. We're going to take our right hand behind our butts, our left hand to the right knee. Inhale, lift tall, and exhale, twist. Inhale back to center. Take the left hand to the outside of the hip. The right hand to the left knee. And a little counter twist. And inhale, come back onto your knees and shift to the other side. So your hips are to the right of your feet. And your left hand goes behind your butt. Your right hand goes to your left knee. And we twist. You're gazing over your left shoulder right now. Inhale, come back, and twist the other way. Little counter twist. Make sure you're keeping your spine long here. We don't want to, collapse. Collapsing is bad. And inhale, come back to neutral. Come to lay on your mat. If there's something that we didn't get to that your body is craving to do, Do it now. If you wanted to invert, go ahead and do it now. Otherwise, take up as much space as you need to on your mat and beyond. Slightly tuck your shoulder blades so that your chest is open, palms are facing up. And relax. Relax your whole body here. Shut your eyes and start to deepen your breath a little bit. Soften your eyebrows. Soften the corners of your eyes, the corners of your mouth. Let your tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. And take rest. Shavasana. It's probably the most important pose of your practice. So you shouldn't be looking at me right now. You should be closing your eyes in Shavasana. Just being. Just be. Let that all settle in. You just did some work. Okay, it was quick. This was a short class, but you did your yoga today. And that's really all that matters, right? Let it sink in. Let your body take advantage of all the stuff you just did. All the good you just did for your body. Your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to the present moment. Notice any parts of your body that are still feeling a little bit bland. You know, maybe they're a little tight, maybe they're a little sore. Send your breath there. Send some love to it. A lot of times I hear people say, what does that mean, send your breath there? Just visualize it. Just visualize your breath literally going from your mouth all the way down to whatever body part it needs to be in. Now, you can stay here in Shavasana as long as you'd like, as long as you need to. But if you're ready to come out, go ahead and turn onto your right side. Come into fetal on the right side. You can rest on your right arm. This is your sun side, your yang side. Take the top leg straight and push yourself up into a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed. You can come into lotus, half lotus, sukhasana, whatever is comfortable for you. Keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart center. Just have a moment of gratitude towards yourself, towards this practice. Towards whatever you feel you need to be grateful for today. Gratitude is powerful, but it's easier said than done. Inhale, exhale, surround yourself with love. Take your thumb knuckles to your forehead. We thank you for practicing your yoga with me today. I hope you'll do more of my classes. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Otherwise, the light in me so honors the light in you. Namaste.